Hey guys, I hope all is well. Thank you for joining me for this Truth Talk episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the dark truth about Jay-Z. This is a remake of the original video that I made over a year ago when I only had a couple thousand subscribers. I have decided to remake a couple of my old dark truth videos to update them and make them a better watching experience, as many of my old videos were poorly recorded. Chances are many of you haven't seen the original version of this video, and for those that have, you might want to still stick around as I have updated this video. Now let's get right into it. The truth is, Jay-Z is one of the biggest hip-hop artists to ever live. With a massive catalog and never-ending achievements, Jay-Z has become one of the faces of hip-hop. According to Jay-Z, he managed to escape the slums of Brooklyn and make it to the top of the music industry and then the top of the world. But how exactly did he go from being just another Brooklyn dealer to the mega rap superstar he is today? According to Jay-Z, before he was married to Beyonce and hanging out with billionaires, he was living the street life and committing crimes to survive in the gritty streets of Brooklyn. Jay-Z tells his story in his music, painting his come up as an artist who made it from nothing, simply using rap skills and street money that he got from being New York's best hustler. What he forgot to mention is that the reason he is one of the biggest rappers to ever live is due to taking the Masonic oath. Join me in this episode as we uncover the dark truth about Jay-Z. Jay-Z was born December 4th, 1969 in Brooklyn, New York. He had a tough upbringing, being raised in the ghettos of Brooklyn and one of the worst project buildings to ever exist, called Marcy Projects. He was raised in a single-parent home after his father abandoned the family at an early age. Jay-Z's mother would realize that he was into music, so she decided to gift him a beatbox for his birthday. Jay started freestyling over popular songs, played on the radio, and started writing lyrics down to them. This is where his dreams of becoming a rapper would come to life. Jay built up his confidence on the mic and took to the streets, joining in on local freestyles, battling people all over the city. He would eventually become known for rapping around his neighborhood, which gave him some local street recognition. This is the same time Jay-Z claims he was in the streets working as a dealer in Brooklyn in order to survive. Jay-Z would meet and befriend Jaz-O, a local rapper who would go on to mentor Jay-Z in his early career. Jay-Z even named himself after Jaz-O. He would then go on to start building a bit of a name for himself in the underground battle rap scene, eventually battling a few big-name rappers like LL Cool J. In 1994, Jay-Z would meet DJ Clark Kent, who took a liking to Jay-Z's rapping. So he connected him with Dame Dash, who at the time was managing another hip-hop group. Together they formed Rockefeller Records in 1995 and quickly began looking for a record label to house the label. They would eventually sign a distribution deal with Priority Records. Just a year later in 1996, Jay-Z would drop his debut album, A Reasonable Doubt, marking the start of his long music career. This is what you may already know about Jay-Z, but the truth is far more sinister. I have come to the conclusion that Jay-Z sold his soul to the devil and took the Masonic oath in order to have a successful music career. The reason I have come to this conclusion is no other than Jay-Z himself, as he shows us time and time again who he truly serves. Jay-Z didn't make it to the top of the music industry with just his music skills and street money. Jay is a Masonic puppet who took the oath in order to gain the world. His Masonic connections played a large role in his career. In order to understand my point, we must understand what Jay-Z is doing. It's the same thing Drake is currently doing with the Sixth God and the Owl of Monarch branding. See, these artists that take the oath essentially get rewarded for how much their contribution furthers the agenda. Since Jay-Z embodied Aleister Crowley's teaching and made it the core values of his record label and image, he was awarded with the highest Masonic ranking possible, allowing him to become the megastar legend he is today. Jay-Z went as far as naming his label Rockefeller Records, inspired by the ultra-rich Rockefeller family. For those who don't know, the Rockefellers are one of the richest bloodlines known to man. When people think Illuminati, this is the family that comes to mind. In reality, the Rockefellers are part of the hierarchy of Freemasonry, not really the Illuminati. Jay-Z was obviously inspired by what the Rockefellers represented. These are the men that truly run our world. Jay-Z, like many other Masonic puppets, shows his alliance with the one-eye symbolism and Masonic hand gestures. Often, we see Jay-Z displaying his signature hand sign when he makes a triangle with his hands, which he claims represents the rock for his Rockefeller Records, when in reality, it's just the Masonic all-seeing eye. In this photo here, you can see him place the triangle over one of his eyes, clearly representing the Masonic all-seeing eye. There's also a photo circulating online that appears to show Jay-Z attending a Masonic meeting. I wasn't able to validate this photo, but it does appear to be Jay-Z. Jay-Z also admits to taking the satanic oath and not having any regrets about it all the way in 1996 in his song Devils, where he is rapping about accepting the evil and not wanting God's forgiveness. For the hook of the song, Jay-Z sampled two songs, a Snoop Dogg song and a song by Prodigy, and the hook goes like this: "Dear God, I wonder can you save me? Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. Dear God, I wonder can you save me? Secret society, trying to keep their eye on me." Already with just the hook of this song alone, we know what Jay-Z is referring to, his Masonic connection. Jay-Z then goes on to rap, 9 to 5 is how to survive. I ain't trying to survive, I'm trying to live it to the limit and love it a lot. Life ills poison my body. I used to say forget mic skills. I never pray to God, I pray to Gotti. That's right, it's wicked. That's life, I live it. Ain't asking for forgiveness for my sins. As you can see, Jay explains how he never prayed to God, but instead to big-time gangsters. He mentioned how a 9 to 5 is how to survive, but he wanted it all, so he was willing to sell his soul to gain the world. He explains how the evil, wicked life he lives, he chose it, and he isn't asking for forgiveness for his sins. He then raps in the very next line, "I break bread with the late heads, picking their brains for angles on all the evils that the game do. It gets dangerous. Money and power is changing us, and now we're lethal, infected with the devils." As you can see for yourself, Jay admits he is infected by the devil, admitting that Lucifer is influencing him. This is important to understanding Jay-Z's purpose in the industry, as this was Jay-Z's initial introduction to the world, and he was already on board with the agenda. Jay-Z is also good friends with Marina Abramovich, who we have spoken about before on this channel. Marina Abramovich is an occultist who likes to call herself a performance artist. She is known to host private spirit cooking parties where she makes food molded into bodies. Jay-Z actually invited her to one of his events where he had Marina interact with his fans. During the event, there's a moment where you notice Jay-Z intensively staring into Marina's eyes. Marina is an obvious witch occultist who practices all types of wickedness. This is why Jay-Z seemed to be worshipping her. I also wanted to talk about Jay-Z's past close relationship with R. Kelly, someone who has a disgusting past that we are all well aware of. Jay-Z and Kelly recorded a whole album together and even went on tour together. This is alarming to me because we already know exactly what Kelly is currently sitting in jail for. It has been rumored since the 90s that Kelly was into girls that were too young, and Jay-Z didn't let that stop him from collaborating with Kelly for a whole project and even going on tour with him. Jay-Z has shown in the past that he was influenced by Aleister Crowley when he was pictured wearing a sweater that had the phrase "do what thou wilt" across it. "Do what thou wilt" was Crowley's credo, and it's what Crowley spreads to his believers, which means do as you please and be your own God. With Jay-Z showing his admiration for Crowley's teachings, I can see Jay having no issues participating in the actions that R. Kelly was known for, even in those times. Nas, who had issues with Jay-Z at one point, came out exposing Jay-Z for this very thing. He states that Jay-Z knew and participated in these sick things Kelly was up to while on tour with him. Nas even claimed the younger girl was at the studio with Kelly and Jay-Z while they were recording music together for their album. Taking under consideration Beyonce and Jay-Z's age gap of 12 years, with Jay-Z supposedly meeting Beyonce when she was only 18, it's safe to assume that Jay-Z prefers his women a lot younger than him. It is not surprising at all that Kanye was recently calling out Jay-Z, calling him a puppet on the industry strings. Kanye himself, who worked with Jay-Z for years, said that Jay is controlled by those who run the industry, something that many of us should already know. Jay-Z is a Masonic puppet who graduated into a puppet master, but he still has to obey by whatever those who are over him tell him to do. Jay-Z also made tons of New World Order references in his Run This Town song alongside Kanye West and Rihanna, two artists that I've done videos on. In this song, Rihanna sings the hook, asking who's gonna run this town. Jay-Z proudly states they are and repeats it confidently. He even continues to state how this is Rock's nation to pledge your allegiance. What this line means is simple. The New World Order plans are in motion, and he was manipulating his fans into participating in it through his music. Jay-Z has aligned himself with the Masons, and he knew that our current events were destined, as these plans have been in motion for hundreds of years. In the second verse, he continues by calling himself Caesar. The Freemasons love referring to the Romans due to their false god worship. Those false gods that used to be worshipped were fallen angels who were casted from heaven when Lucifer was cast out. They managed to convince the people they were gods and had them worshipping them and committing sacrifices for demonic blessings. Jay continues by demanding that his fans follow his lead into the New World Order that the Masons are building. He even goes on to call himself a god on this record, something Jay-Z and all the Masons believe and chase after, being their own god. Jay-Z went as far as adding the name Hov to his rap name. This is a blasphemous take on God's name, Jehovah. Jay-Z is known to call himself Hov or Jehovah. Jay has clearly been chosen to lead the hip-hop audience into accepting the Masonic agenda. The Masons used Jay-Z to enslave his own people, and he did it proudly, convincing his fans that a life of crime and being soulless was the only way to make it to the top. See, the Freemasons know that using an artist like Jay-Z to target people in urban communities is the best possible way to get it done. People relate to what they recognize. Since Jay-Z grew up in the projects, what better person can be used to reach people who live in those very projects? The Masons would have Jay-Z rap about the very things that would destroy his community. Destruction was always at the core of his music. The lyrics for Run This Town are clearly prophesizing what is yet to come, a world where the satanic way of life was going to be blindly accepted by the masses. Jay-Z took the leading role as he has guided all of hip-hop into following the Masonic agenda. This is exactly how Jay was able to reach the top of the world and be accepted by billionaires. Jay-Z was invited by fellow billionaires to be used directly to talk to urban communities. It's the reason why Jay-Z was chosen to work with the NFL. We have spoken about the NFL, and we know it's connected to the Masonic order. Jay-Z embodies the Freemason ideology so well, they put him in charge of leading the Masonic agenda in hip-hop. Early in his career, he knew what he wanted to represent: Lucifer, even naming a song Lucifer that was produced by Kanye. In the hook of the song, it repeats, "Lucifer, son of the morning." Jay-Z has been letting the world know he sold this soul and took the oath since the very beginning of his career. Jay-Z has no trouble admitting his alliance. He wanted this, and he achieved it no matter the cost. With no remorse, he sold out his own people to climb the Masonic ladder to the very top. He managed to get everything he wanted and more, surpassing almost every man in hip-hop. I know that for some of you guys who enjoy listening to the music these artists produce, it can be hard to avoid their music, especially in a world that is so heavily influenced by it. Just try your best to remember not to let the music influence you. If you know what their end goal is, you can determine if that's truly something you want to be influenced by. Well, like I always say, we must remember that every day we wake up, our souls are at stake. And we also must remember to help those who can't see the truth find the truth. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I just wanted to give a special shout out to the Truth Movement members. I truly appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to further support the channel, join the Truth Movement, or you can join me on Patreon, where I drop exclusive videos monthly. The link would be in the description. Another way you can further support the channel is by checking out the Truthfist store and seeing if you find anything you like. Every purchase you make helps with the funding of Truth Records. The link to the Truthfist store is also in the description. Also, please leave a comment on your thoughts on this video and on any future topics you would like to see me cover on my channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified of future videos. If you like this video, please leave a like as it helps other people find these videos. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram and follow me there. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.